Thursday, and while I was writing the tweet and the Instagram post, the news just flashed across my phone, and Donald Sutherland died.
Oh no!
I literally was like silent screaming into the ether while I was trying to write. I was like, come on! But hi, welcome to your Thursday, or this week's episode of Creatia Conversation. If you haven't noticed, it's just me and Matt today, or the patron saint of podcasting, the warden Matt Ritter.
I made sure it was up there this time so you could read it.
Thank you.
Guess what I just found?
My
Harry Potter wand. I've been looking for this for like 2 months.
Okay, I was like, what is that?
It's my Harry Potter wand.
You would have a Death Eater looking one.
I am a Slytherin.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
How are you, Mara?
I was doing all right till that.
Maybe it's because I found the wand. Maybe I conjured it.
Wow, that's crazy. Who asked you for that?
Nobody. I actually feel bad. That sucks.
I know. I mean, Donald Sutherland, if you guys don't know, for some of our younger viewers, he is known for certain movies such as The Hunger Games, which is mainly what I know him from, but also from like MASH. Apparently he was in Pride and Prejudice, but I haven't seen that movie. So he's been in quite a few things. But yeah, he died today at the age of 88. I don't know what from, but
yes. What?
One big hug.
Oh, a big hug. Mwah.
Aw.
What's up?
So my Nana, I was gonna go right back to my Nana.
Oh, okay. I love you. Bye. Hey, isn't this your Nana's?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
She's so cute. I can't take it.
Yeah. But like you said, Pride and Prejudice, The Hunger Games, bunch of shit. Backdraft 2, which I didn't even know there was a Backdraft 2. Donald Sutherland's in a lot of stuff, which, I mean, there was just a new Hunger Games that came out,
Yeah, the Ballad of
Fire and Songbirds.
Snakes and Songbirds.
Snakes, that's what it was.
Because it's based off of his. It's not like I don't know if he's in it. I haven't watched that movie yet, and I think I've been waiting because I wanted to read the book first, because that's how I did with the other Hunger Game movies. But I'm sure he's mentioned Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah. But yeah, it's like him. It's his character before he became his character.
Yeah, no, I know he's also done like some horror early on too, and I'm trying to find that. Yeah, it was in some mini series. What do we got here? Oh, he was a voice of Sid in Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within from 2001. Space Cowboys. Outbreak.
He was in Horrible Bosses.
The Puppet Masters, which I think that's different than the Puppet Master that Travis loves. Oh, the Pokey Little Puppy's First Christmas. He was in Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Bunch of stuff. Backdraft's one of my favorite movies, and he was in that, so that's my like.
I don't know those movies.
You don't know Backdraft?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Backdraft is really good. It's about firefighters, obviously, but Donald Sutherland's in it. Kurt Russell's in it. William Baldwin, Robert De Niro. Shit ton of people.
Interesting.
It's a good movie. But anyway, Mara, what have you been watching? What have you been playing?
Rest in peace, Donald. Playing. I cleared my mods folder, so I told you guys that last time I saw you because I wasn't here last week. And then so I've been just trying to get my game to work properly, because every time I try to get one of the Sims to interact with their infant, the infant ends up on the floor, or they're like stuck between their legs while they're walking, or like their arms glitch out, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you? So it's been that, but also I've been, what else did I play? Marvel Snap, nothing else new. I was like, have I started anything else? No. But watching, I started a new docuseries that just came out, I want to say either today or yesterday, on Hulu, called The Perfect Wife.
Okay.
And so I started it earlier today, while I was sorting out like my laundry. And my boyfriend was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, this is kind of like Gone Girl. And he was like, what's that? So then I had to tell him about that story, because it was like a book. And because like apparently like there was this kidnapping hoax of this woman back in 2016. And it's really just talking about that, because she pretty much Gone Girled her husband, except for instead of it making it look like she was murdered, it just made it look like she was taken. And so
Okay.
yeah, I didn't get to like any of the juicy stuff, or so I'm still in the first episode, but I've started that. Started the most recent season of The Boys.
Is that out already?
Yes, they put the first 3 episodes, I want to say last week.
Really? Fuck,
Yeah,
I'm way behind on shit.
There's 3 episodes up. What else? Well, obviously, House of the Dragon.
Yeah. I went back to rewatch this. Travis was because I know I had some stuff wrong, but hey Tommy, how you doing? Travis was arguing with me about Craig and Stark. So I went back to look, and while he is happy Thirsty Thursday, while he is,
it's also the first day of summer,
wearing the Night Watch garb, it's got the Stark emblem on it. And during his whole speech, he talks about how his ancestors brought the king and the queen to the wall to show them, while he's telling the story about why they do the wall thing and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he just took Jace to the wall, because he talks about like having his loyalty to the North and having to take care of the North, and the North is his first priority. I do not think he's Lord Commander. I'm pretty sure he is the Warden of the North and ruler of, everything North.
Perhaps. I didn't go back and rewatch the episode, but I did like on, was it Tuesday? It was either Monday or Tuesday. I want to say it was Tuesday. New Rockstars had posted up, like, I think it might have been Monday, because I don't see why they would wait an entire 36 hours to do that. They had done like their recap of it,
Okay.
and like because the dude that, I don't know his name, but the guy who I think usually runs most of the videos on there, he's kind of like the chubby, happy looking guy with the beard.
Okay.
He did like a breakdown. I think he too has read the books, so like he was breaking down like little things that you might have missed in the episode, but then at the end he talks about like, well, this is how it progresses kind of in the book, so this might like kind of like what he predicts may happen next, and like some of the differences. So like it was kind of cool to watch that, because I haven't read the books, nor will I read the books at this point. But it was like a good breakdown of stuff, because like he broke down like the tapestry intro, some of the differences in like the kids that Aegon and Helena have, and like how that scene actually portrays out in the book.
How do you feel about the tapestry versus like what we had in Game of Thrones with like the house building and the building of all the kingdoms and shit? Because I'm not a huge fan of the tapestry.
I like the change because it's still telling a story, and I think mainly because I needed a breakdown of the tapestry. I think that's what kind of like that's why I kind of like it. And I think it's kind of cooler, because tapestries that historically do tell, like he was like, they tell stories, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. Like you never really find tapestries like in this time that don't have some kind of like story to it. But
yeah,
I like I don't get me wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the OG house building stone, like kind of like they're building a model of like the realm. Nothing
Right.
beats it. But I do like the subtle change in it. I just wish it didn't flash over stuff so quickly, because some of the difference with the tapestry is that you have to translate certain things that are sewn instead of becoming like a 3D model, if that makes sense. Because some of the things that New Rockstars pointed out, I was like, that is blurry as fuck. How did you even catch that? Like,
Oh, people
so
are
that's like,
insane.
yeah, that's like my only takeaway from it. But I do like the tapestry. I think it's cool. There, he also pointed out that it might, the tapestry might change with the intros, like, or it might become even more. It might progress more over the season.
Well, yeah, and we saw that with Game of Thrones too, as everything went, like the world building intro expanded and changed as the seasons went on and things changed. So,
so interesting to see it. It kind of now sets an expectation, though, that like the third season will have something else different.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like, I feel like to change it the second season and then be like, no, this will be it from now on. It's just like, no. Now I'm expecting a new change come the next season.
We finally finished Rick and Morty. The latest season of Rick and Morty fucking took forever, but we did finally. We have been watching a lot of wrestling. What else have we fucking watched?
I'm happy to know I'm not the only person who struggles with this on the week.
Yeah, no, like I got caught up. Well, I didn't get caught up. I think the new episode dropped, so I'm one episode behind on Star Wars Acolyte. But I was caught up until today or yesterday when the new episode dropped. So I think I'm one behind on that. I don't know. So Kate and I normally had like a set like thing of shows that we were watching, and then they all kind of ended, or we got caught up on everything, and then we were kind of just doing our own thing. But now that The Boys is back, we have that. We've been working our way through the last couple seasons of Young Sheldon too, because we got behind on that, and we need to get caught up on The Neighborhood. Like, there's so much shit that we have to do that I've been too fucking busy. I did a podcast on Tuesday. I got this today. I got 2 podcasts on Saturday, one with Travis and then Smacking Her On. And then I got 3 podcasts on Sunday because of fucking, I think that's might be why I'm a little against House of the Dragon, is it's fucking up my getting off stuff and also making me pull double duty 4 weeks, like back to back. So maybe that's why I was all grumpy about House of Dragon last week. We'll see.
Oh, and I also watched the last 15, maybe 20 minutes of the Kendrick Lamar and Friends pop out concert last night.
Okay.
I caught it just in time for him to play Not Like Us 5 times concurrently. Back to back.
Jesus Christ.
It kind of like the first time he did it, he had the crowd do the A minor part, where you kind of like stem that
A minor.
Yeah. And so he had them do it, and then like he kind of like rolled through it, and then he was like, you wouldn't let Drake disrespect the Bay, would you? And then or the West, would you? And so then he does it again, and then he has them do that whole like part he had just done up until A minor. And I was just like, I love this. I kind of really just wish he had called the whole concert, yo, fuck you, Drake.
Well, I was talking to Young Kings Wrestling on Saturday about Kendrick and all of his stuff. And you know how he does the wop, 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 wop?
Wop, yes.
Okay, so it's an Italian slur, right? That they call Italians wops because it means without papers. So basically he's saying Drake doesn't have the papers to be black. That's another one of those things. Yeah.
Love, the man is a writing genius. He is a genius. I can't take it. It's so funny. It's like, don't get me wrong, like I listen to Drake too, but it's just like
I listen to Drake's old shit. I haven't listened to Drake in a while.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
the part where Kendrick goes, I forget which track it was. I think it was in Euphoria. Yeah, it was in Euphoria where he was like, keep making me dance, waving my hands, and it won't be no problem or something like that. And I was just like, that was my favorite version of Drake. Like, where he just makes you want to just do this. Like, that was my favorite peak Drake. Drake trying to be a hood nigga pisses me off.
That's the other thing is Euphoria. I've been watching that, and I think I'm like 3 or 4 seasons or episodes into season 1. So, Rue just went back to her dealer, and he's like, "No, I'm not hooking you up." And then I think she called the guy to go have lunch because she was trying to be sober, but she kissed her friend and then freaked out.
Yeah, she called like the dude who like supplies him, right?
I think so, actually, yeah, because he gave her the fentanyl, and that was a whole thing.
Yeah,
that was an awkward scene.
First season Rue is scary.
Dude, she's sitting there and she's like, "Where's my pants?" And like, I felt very uncomfortable watching that whole drug deal thing go down with Angus Cloud just sitting there on the couch. Like,
oh, trust me, it gets worse. It gets worse. But let me know when you get to the season finale of season 1, because season 2's opener is going to have you like, what?
Okay.
Not drug wise. It's just kid, like.
Well, no, there's everything about Euphoria is like every scene is just like, what the? This is a very uncomfortable. This is not how I grew up. I don't know what the fuck you people are doing. Like, I did some shit, but this is all very uncomfortable.
I don't even remember how me and Logan watched it. I don't remember if we like binged through it or if we just kept waiting week per week. But yeah, I'm still waiting to hear news about season 3 because I think that is still kind of, I think, up in the air, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been it. Other than that, Diablo and Pokemon Insurgents, which I'm still playing through. I think I'm almost actually done with that, so I can move on to a different Pokemon ROM hack. But no, I've been having fun.
I've been watching my boyfriend play Sea of Thieves.
How's that going?
He's, baby, what's your level of pirate now? He's a pirate legend.
I bet he is.
He's a pirate legend.
All about the booty.
Yes, he is. What was it? I was watching him play today. He's trying to like get to some place, and I was like, "Why is your boat zooming? Why is your ship zooming through the water as if it is like gas operated?" Just like zooming.
He's a fucking legend.
Yes,
he's a fucking legend.
But yeah. But since we have now talked so much about what we've been watching, thank you guys for joining us today, whoever's watching live. Where you can catch us on the streaming places like twitch.tv/Creatia World or YouTube at Creatia World. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, you get one free premium member subscription to your favorite Twitch streamer. Give it to us. That's it. You don't have to pay anything. Just you got to do it manually every month. That's it. And there's so many other perks to having Prime gaming with Amazon Prime, because you get like free games, free perks, all that stuff. And then YouTube, if you're watching us there, make sure you hit the subscribe button next to our name here. So this way that you get a notification. And when you do that, you get a bell. You hit that bell, you get a notification every time we go live. Because why wouldn't you want to know? Sometimes we go a few minutes late. Sometimes we go a whole half hour late. Sometimes we go a little bit early. So you definitely want to get those notifications. Between mine and Travis's schedule, you never know when we're going to start.
You really don't.
You really don't. So might as well get notified whenever we do go live. And then there's also versions of these shows that are ad-free. And I don't mean like YouTube ads. Like, so if you have YouTube Premium, there's still an ad in this. So, but if you want to avoid those, you can go to our Patreon and subscribe to, I think it's our second tier, and that'll get you access to these episodes ad-free. Patreon.com/Creatia World. The other tiers will get you bonus content like Multiverse with me and Travis. We are doing something soon, and it's totally slipped my mind as to which one that is. But I think it's a Batman Superman. I think it's Apocalypse. It's on HBO or Max, whatever the fuck they're going by now.
Max.
Yeah, Max. And then there's also Return to Wrestling with Matt and Travis. What are you guys doing, or what have you done recently?
World War III, we should be recording on Saturday. So it is the last World War III of WCW. I still don't know how much farther into WCW Travis and I are going. That's one of the other things I was watching because I completely forgot about that. So Travis and I did a poll, and we're going to move from WCW to NXT whenever Travis decides, fuck it, we're not doing it anymore. And I was looking, and NXT has like 8 seasons before where we're going to start, because it wasn't what it was going to be. It's a whole thing that I'm not going to get into and explain. If you're a wrestling fan, you know. If you know, you know. So I'm catching up on all of the early NXT stuff because it's stuff that was during a period of time that I wasn't watching wrestling, so I missed all of this. And there's a lot of interesting stuff. There was a good like 3 or 4 years where I was more interested in vagina than wrestling, and then I got back into it. So, listen, back in the 2010s, like early 2010s, those two things didn't correlate. Like it wasn't as popular as it is now, or it was back in the 90s. There was a lull in the wrestling period where if you told a girl in your 20s you watch wrestling, you got a funny look and you were not getting in her pants. So I picked one over the other for a little while. But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, so I've been watching that too. So World War III, and then If You Have to Ask, Kate and I are going to figure out, I think the last weekend of the month, we're going to record the next episode of that. So that'll be coming at the end of the month as well.
Stay tuned for that. So yeah, check out our Patreon. And then
Please
there's
do.
also our regular website, creatiaworld.com, which is pretty much like the list of all of our links where you can find everything. But let's hop into the news time. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So speaking of my simming, there have been, I want to say in the last year, there has been at least 2 remakes coming, like 2 similar life simulation games that have been announced or in development. There has been Life by You, and there was Denizen. I'm most likely saying that wrong, but whatever. I think Life by You was the one that I think I had been hearing the most about because I think it was the furthest into production, if I'm not wrong. Like they had like videos out of it and everything, like, and people were like, oh my gosh, it looks kind of just like The Sims. Like the graphics are a little bit different, which is I'm sure on purpose, but like a lot of the base stuff that they were promoting in the base of the game was a lot of stuff that Sims 4 didn't necessarily provide to players, even though in Sims maybe 1, 2, and 3, those were things that you would have had already in the base game. So everyone was like, oh my gosh, this looks good. So as of Tuesday, Paradox canceled Life by You.
Yeah.
Life by You developer closed down after game gets canceled. And that news was announced by Ricky Fretch at Comic Book. Jesus. Because his name is not French, it's Fretch. So like now I'm just skipping over letters. But yeah, from comicbook.com. So yesterday, a couple days ago, Paradox Interactive announced that it was officially canceling Life by You, a new life simulation game that was scheduled to hit early access this year. The game had been delayed several times with an infinite delay announced last month before the eventual cancellation. Did not hear about the delay being indefinite, but okay. At the time, many feared that Paradox Tectonic, the studio behind the project, would be shut down soon after because it was the only project the team had on the books. Sadly, Paradox announced earlier that Tectonic is shutting down. Life by You was meant to be its debut game, so this closure stings even more, especially with how excited players were to jump into the Sims competitor. Before I finish this, the article, 99.9999999% of me feels like EA was behind this. I could put all 10 fingers and 9 of my toes down to be like someone at EA had a hand in this.
They were like, we're not letting anyone come out and rival what we've been doing or try and rival or give people options that we make them pay for. Don't give them, like, we're not letting anyone fuck up how we do shit.
Yeah,
this is our money back. Like, this is how we make money.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I just feel like a letter, some sort of like they found something that they could pick at, and they were like, cease and desist.
I'm not going far. The air from the air conditioning is blowing on me, and I'm fucking freezing. I'm going to close this vent.
Gotcha.
That's better.
There we go. But the statement from Paradox reads, "This is difficult and drastic news for our colleagues at Tectonic who have worked hard on Life by U's early access release. Sadly, with cancellation of their sole project, we have to take the tough decision to close down the studio. We are deeply grateful for their hard work in trying to take Paradox into a new genre." Of course, at this point, the hope is that developers who lost their jobs with the closure can quickly find work. Tectonic had 24 employees before being shuttered. Fortunately, players were excited about Life by You, so their work hasn't gone unnoticed by the life simulator community. Hopefully, the same is true for other studios hoping to bring in quality developers. Paradox did not share any further details beyond the statement above, so we don't know if any of the employees are being moved to other studios within Paradox, but yet this is another cog in the worrying trend of studio closures that has been an unfortunate ongoing development for the last several months. Fans hoping for a new game to challenge The Sims 4. The Sim 4 will have to wait a bit longer. There are a few indie projects in the works, but those games won't be out until the end of 2024 at the earliest. Paralives, that was the other one. Paralives is scheduled to hit early access in 2025 and is being developed solo by dev Alex Massey. Meanwhile, Crafton's Enzoy is currently scheduled for late 2024, though that date could easily move around. On top of that, we know that EA is working on the next mainline game in the Sims franchise, which is the Project Renee game. However, we don't have a release window for that project, and there hasn't been many signs it'll be announced anytime soon. And I don't think it will, because EA keeps releasing new roadmaps, including more fucking packs that still give minimum, like, you know, it gives some great, sometimes it's a hit or a miss with gameplay, sometimes it's a hit or a miss with the content that they give. But I'm gonna keep playing it because I already own it. So
I'm still here. I have no idea what's going on. My camera just keeps fucking freezing, and I have no idea why.
I see.
I don't know if you're noticing it, but I'm seeing it. Just funny faces, and then all of a sudden it's fine. Like right now, it's perfectly fine. No issues.
Lagging.
And then I'll be like, so.
But yeah, that was.
No, that's crazy though. 24 people lost their jobs. That sucks, because you think like, oh, 24 people, that's not a whole lot, right? No, it's a lot. That's 24 families. That's 24 people. Small developer. It also sucks that, you know, competition, especially in like spaces like games, especially one that monopolizes a space like The Sims does, is always good for people, for consumers, for fans of the series. So like, you want to try something new, and then this shit gets shut down, and now you're stuck with what you have, and there's never going to be any innovation. There's never going to be anything, you know. Competition makes EA be better. You know, we talk about it in wrestling all the time. Like, there being competition makes people step their game up. If there is no competition, if there's nothing to be like, okay, they're doing this, what can we do to be better than that? What do people like about this? What can we change? Then nothing ever gets changed. Nothing ever gets fixed. So
yeah. So we shall see. I mean, I don't know if I've said it like on the show before, but I know I've said it to others. Like my expectations for what they're doing with what they're going to do with Project Renee, very little, because of how little that they gave us with The Sims 4 when you know, so because Project Renee is supposed to be free out the gate. The base game is supposed to be free. So like, and that makes me question how much they will actually give from the start date, because when I had to pay $50 for the Sims 4 base game, or $40, however much it was back when I first got it, they left out a lot of key things that, we had in 3 and 2, and I think even in 1 to a degree. So who knows? But you can see that there's a want for simulation games, because I have PlayStation Plus, and the amount of games that I see added every month that are just simulators, I'm just like, people are trying to escape the real world. Help.
Yeah, no, we all want to be in the Matrix. We all want to be in the Matrix. Please just give us that.
We are
Nobody
already
wants to
in
be here. But this Matrix sucks. We can do better.
This Matrix on the verge of collapse. But
before we get into my topic,
we're gonna do an ad, which you can bypass if you go to Patreon.
You can. The more you pay, the more you get, and the less you have to put up with. But we have awesome sponsors. One of those is my favorite sponsor, and Travis is going to tell you about them now, even though he's not here to actually physically be on the show, because that's how we do things.
Things up in the bedroom, then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Because you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code EROTICA at checkout. That's EROTICA at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description.
I took myself out of the conversation.
No idea why this thing's acting up, but we'll see how it goes.
Fix it. Hey, JJ.
What's up, JJ? Long time no see. So I have been keeping everyone up to date on the Friday the 13th news, rumors, because this is the longest drought that we have gone through as horror fans without Jason since the debut of Jason. The last official movie or anything that we got was 2019's reboot with Jared Padalecki. So we've all been like, where is this? Or 2009, yeah. Reboot with Jared Padalecki. So we've all been like, where the fuck is this Peacock series we've been promised, right? We talked about how Brian Fuller was on, and that got canceled, A24, all this. So like I said, the last official entry into the Friday the 13th franchise was the 2009 reboot of the concept. And while the rights to the series have been in legal limbo for years, A24, Brian Fuller, and Peacock aim to revive the concept with the TV show Crystal Lake. Fuller himself personally revealed that he had parted ways from the project earlier this year. And news reports from The Wrap sheds more insight into what went down with his exit, how close to production the concept got, and how Charlize Theron was seemingly on board to star as Pamela Voorhees. As fans have already seen with Fuller's Hannibal, Crystal Lake would be a direct remake of the specific narrative of Friday the 13th, with the outlet confirming that the idea would have been a spiritual reboot of the first 4 films in the series. Despite being 3 months from start of production, the Wrap claims sources revealed that Crystal Lake was plagued by inexperienced production executives making questionable decisions, problems with the show's writing staff, and conflicts between showrunners and executives. As Friday the 13th fan can tell you, while hockey mask wearing Jason Voorhees is a key component of the franchise's appeal, that version of the character doesn't appear until the 3rd film, with it instead being his mother who's killing off camp counselors in the debut entry. Early speculation about the project among fans. What?
That's how I know people who always forget that key part or wouldn't survive the Scream franchise, because that is the shit that got Casey Becker murdered.
Mhm.
That was the question that got her fucked up.
And that's the thing, like, as fans of a franchise, these are the things that we need to get right? You can't just jump in with Jason in a prequel and ignore the Pamela stuff, act as if that didn't happen. You can't put him in the hockey mask before he gets it. If you're going to reboot it, you got to do it right. They tried to do it with the 2009 remake, where they had her get beheaded very early, and then the whole movie kind of led up to him getting the mask and then finally having the mask, because people making this stuff. Go ahead.
I was saying they just kind of made him hear her instead. Like they kind of felt like they just merged the first three together.
They did. And it's because these executives, these producers think no one's going to care or want to go see, or no one's going to pay for a movie that doesn't have Jason in the hockey mask in it. So they're trying to force that shit in. And maybe they're right. Maybe, you can't bank on just true franchise fans, but you're going to piss off the fans of the franchise if you don't do it right. If you fuck up the lore, if you fuck up what this is about.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of how, like, I feel like Bates Motel was really well received with how they led up to Psycho, as opposed to
I want to see if that fixes it. If I just start and stop my cam, if maybe it'll stop fucking up.
Well, it did that time. Instead of like jumping straight into like homeboy and he's in the motel already and he's just being crazy, instead of like just redoing into Psycho, like they did like a good job of just like building that up to Psycho.
Yep. So originally each season would be a deconstruction of the first 4 Paramount movies. The series would incorporate lore from several sequels, but remix that material. Well, a source confirmed that the outlet that they would be able to include the iconic mask and lore for follow-up films. Last year's writer's strike didn't help much, with significant progress, and writing the series was put on hold for an extended length of time. Once the strike was resolved, the Wrap cites a number of challenges revealed to them by sources about the major obstacles where it came to completing the series scripts. In addition to Theron circling the project, Splice director Vincenzo Natali and Carrie director Kimberly Pierce were reportedly set to direct episodes, as was Scream writer Kevin Williamson. As previously reported, Williamson's episode was set to be an hour-long chase scene, which the Wrap claims would have been set on a frozen Crystal Lake. The outlet also cites at A24 sources who sound committed to bring the project to life somehow, with Channel Zero and brand new cherry flavors Nick Anacosta's rumored to be a possible candidate, who previously worked with Fuller on Hannibal.
Which just makes me excited, because I loved Hannibal. Like it's on that list of shows that didn't end properly, that they should have had like, one more season, or at least like a TV movie to wrap shit up in a sense, or at least leave it in a way that it doesn't feel like, oh my God, where do we go from here? And I don't think that's Brian Fuller's fault. I 110% blame Fox for that, but or NBC, whichever one they were on first. But I'm excited, because that kind of feel, plus like the feel that A24 gives with their stuff, so much good potential.
But that's the thing, right? So we had a writer's strike. We have issues with executives. We have all of these things. It's still in development. Unfortunately, Brian Fuller from Hannibal isn't a part of it anymore. He parted ways, so that we don't know who's going to do it now. Because he had an idea for the show, and whoever the executives were and everything, that we don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see.
I feel like the best shows and the best projects have been so severely impacted by
hindered,
thank you, by the writer and the acting strike. Because same thing with like that's what when we're talking about Euphoria, I was like, when will we get more news about season 4, please?
You know, it sucks. And we, like I said, 2009. So we're 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years since we've had a Friday the 13th project. I think the longest gap before that was between Freddy versus Jason in 2004 and Jason Goes to Hell. I can't remember if Jason X was in between those or after Freddy versus Jason. But yeah, no, like late 1990s, we had something. I think it was 97 or 98. And then we had a couple in
Jason
between
X
before.
was an up too.
Okay, so Jason X was 02. So yeah, no. It was like 5 or 6 years between Freddy versus Jason and then the remake. So like 15 years. This is the longest span we have gone without a Friday the 13th movie. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, 80, 81, 82, 84, 85, 86, 88, 89, 93, 02, 03, 09.
Yeah, so 02 was the biggest with 9 years.
03, you mean. Freddy versus Jason was before the remake.
Right, no, so, but I'm saying from 93 to 02 with Jason X, 9 years was the longest that we've done. But yeah, no, we'll see. Yeah, I know that is most of our adult lives. We've gone most of our adult lives, just shy of half of my entire life, without a brand new Friday the 13th project. And it is.
I remember when I saw the remake in theaters, and I think it was my last year in high school. And I remember because it came out like on a ironically, Friday the 13th, I think, was also was the day before Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So like my besties and I, we went to go see that for Valentine's Day.
And I mean, we're dealing with the same thing with Freddy too, right? We haven't had a new Freddy movie since 2010 when they released the remake of that. Like all of these horror franchises, I thought with, Halloween coming out, and we'd get something, we got
and with
new Evil Deads, like
with how well both of those franchises have done between Halloween and the Evil Dead series. I mean, in their own respective fandoms, but yeah, like they've done really well. So it's just like Jason and Freddy are like in your top 3. Like what is
it was rights issues for a while. That looks like it's got settled. So again, I've always had the issue of people thinking that they can't make a Friday the 13th without putting Jason in the mask, especially a TV show, that you're going to build to it. Like you said, Hannibal did such a great job of building to it and learning why Norman Bates is the way he is before we got to like Bates Motel before we got to Psycho. So like, I don't know why.
And Hannibal does Hannibal Lecter before you get to Silence of the Lambs. So it's like, there's other books of the Hannibal series that they are based off of, but they are before you get to that.
I'm looking up here. Yeah.
Red Dragon, Hannibal, and Hannibal Rising. Sorry.
Yes. We're actually covering those very soon. Not Hannibal Rising, because fuck that. But the rest of the franchise we're actually going to cover on Getting Off Soon. But we've had a Scream. We've had a Hellraiser. We've had Halloween's. We've had
Chucky.
We've had Chucky. We've had Saw. We've had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've had everything but Freddy and Jason within the last 14 to 15 years. Mm-hmm. So it's insane.
It's time.
It's time. What else we got?
We can do Travis's, or we could look at a trailer. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, let's do a trailer.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right. So since we are watching House of the Dragon, one of our Game of Thrones alums, Sir Kit Harington, also known as AKA Jon Snow or Aegon, whatever number he is, Targaryen, his other alias, he has a new movie coming out called The Beast Within. I don't know a lot about it, but I feel like it has something to do with lycanthropy, so or werewolfism.
All right.
There is an ad because we're not signed into my account, so
I4 electricity in its most powerful form.
if more of you guys subscribe to the Patreon, we can afford to get YouTube Premium, and then we can skip these.
The ultimate electric driving
We could.
UI Ford for $4.99 per month.
These woods.
Can you hear?
Are my woods.
Yep.
I'm king of these woods.
King.
I, king of these woods, pronounce thee princess.
Dad?
Excuse me?
Mama?
Yes, we are.
Where are you always going?
I heard you last night. You need to take Willow away.
Are we safe?
I would never let anything hurt you. He is your father.
I didn't want this. This curse.
Good.
It gets harder to control the rage.
This can't go on.
He's gonna tear that child to pieces. Believe in me.
It's him.
It's okay. Don't be scared. I am a monster. Get inside!
He loves us.
Kneel before your king.
Hi, Travis. Since you didn't get to say that in Game of Thrones,
Yeah. Did he get?
it's
He
giving.
put on some. He put on some weight, right? Like he got bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm not used to seeing him in roles where he's not like
Soft.
fighting for some kind of justice. Yeah, like some kind of soft fighting for justice, like Pompeii and Game of Thrones. And there was something else he was in that it was like, damn, bro, like all these muscles is just going to look pretty, I guess.
The kind-hearted warrior Kit Harington.
Yeah, like it's kind of giving Old Yeller meets because like when I saw the gun, I was like, so at some point you're gonna tell me that. So at some point this gun is going to be shot in his head. Okay, that I've gotten that part.
Okay.
And it's giving like the worst part of like Old Yeller.
Okay.
As a dad, yeah, because obviously it's either he's going to turn his whole family into werewolves as well somehow, or he's going to maul them to death, or Papa's going to eat a bullet.
I vote for option 2.
He's going to
Maul the
maul the whole family.
Yeah, give me that. That's how I want that.
I think he's going to end up eating a bullet, and it's probably going to be from the daughter.
Probably. I'm okay with that too, I guess. I guess I'm okay with that. You know.
It's like some kind of vindication, like I'm doing this because I love you.
But then we find out he also scratched and or bit her, and now she's going to turn into a little baby
Right.
werewolf.
And then it'll lead to the sequel, The Beast Within.
2.
Look at us. We're going to be executive
got-
producers on that one already.
Easy.
You guys can like go to our ats, and then we can talk some money and some production ideas.
Come to us for Friday the 13th. We will just give us full reign. Let us handle it. We will take care of you. It will be a success. We got you.
Shit, I'll even cut you of needing to cast one person because I probably play a good victim. I'm not
You don't
gonna
even have to pay me extra.
Right, like you just want to be paid and be a part of it. We can touch on.
Should we talk about the D&D rules since I put it in I told people, that's why everyone comes here. They don't care about us talking about horror or Sims or the stuff that you and I enjoy. They're here for Travis's D&D. Let's be honest.
That sounds crazy. To be here for someone's D&D just sounds wild. Okay. So Dungeons and Dragons has a new handbook for 2024. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know half of what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna read from Game Rant. But yeah, so Dungeons and Dragons just revealed tons of information about what can be found within the 384 pages of the new player's handbook.
This is why I don't fuck with D&D. I'm not sure. I don't want to read books on regularly, let alone fucking handbooks on how to 380 pages of new material on how to play a fucking game. Can you a 380 page manual to play? No.
Right now, Dungeons and Dragons is working on an evergreen revamp of its 5th edition system. While not a new edition on its own, this complete overhaul of the 10-year-old tabletop RPG, because it says TTRPG, and I was just like, I need to figure out what TT stands for really fast. So we're going to go with that. Might as well be, as it includes updated versions of the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual. That's probably why it's so big. And I would say, honestly, because when we have played with Travis, he has been the Dungeon Master. So he's been doing a lot of the reading. I think as long as you're
dungeon mastering for a long time, since 2 years ago when he got us to do one thing of D&D and then promised a sequel and we never got it. And this is what I mean by, listen, the patience, right? Like, when's episode 2 coming, Travis? It's been 2 years. Where's that at? You take too long.
Our schedules have to align perfectly for that because we need time for that. Every time we do that shit, it's like 3 hours. Now, Dungeons and Dragons has given fans a preview of all the stuff waiting for them inside the massive tome. The 12 core classes in Dungeons and Dragons have all received facelifts to refine and improve and streamline gameplay. Each has 4 subclasses available, including 3 new options: the Path of the World Tree, Barbarian, the College of Dance Bard, and the Circle of the Sea Druid. The book also includes almost 400 Dungeons and Dragons spells, including new entries like Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron. That feels like it's pandering to Black women. Please come play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know why, but something about that just feels kind of pandering, but I love it. Plus a guy.
I am very interested in Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron.
Same.
Something I really want to get into.
Plus a guide that helps new players get started and a ton of gorgeous original artwork. So I'll just give like the list of contents.
I'm going to assume this is like a manual that gets updated and like new things added. So like with my job, we have like a set of rules, and then on occasion we'll get a notification where they've added to it. Mm-hmm. It's not a release. So I'm guessing you don't need to read all 380 whatever pages. You have to go look for the highlights of what's been added to it. And that this is just how big it is now. So you would, if you're new to D&D, if you want to get started, you got a 300. Yeah. But if you've been in it, I'm assuming most of the stuff is. You
can choose around what you want to do. Like for Travis, who I would consider a seasoned player already, he probably doesn't need to read through everything except for the additions, I could imagine. They have revisions for all 12 classes, so he probably would have to check and see like what changes about those, since they have changed some of the stuff of it. Like I don't know if you've played Marvel Snap, but every once in a while when they do a patch to the cards, they change some of the cards' abilities. Yeah, so like Professor X, whose card ability was nothing can be added, removed, or played here after he's been played. they've changed it to the only way you can put a card there in that location is if you move into it. You can't like play something else, but if I have a card that can move, I can move it over to there. And same way, vice versa, to move it out. So that's what I feel like the benefit of like what the book is doing, the handbook is doing in a sense. But like, yeah, because there's a lot of subclasses that I didn't know were there, or classes. But 48 subclasses, which is 4 for each class, and 45 re-imaged subclasses with 3 new ones, the ones I read before. 16 backgrounds, which now include ability score adjustments and a free feat, whatever. 10 species, including Isomar, Goliath, and Orc. 75 feats, including high-level epic boon feats. I don't know what that means. Mastery properties, probably. Mastery properties for weapons. Nearly 400 spells across over 100 pages. Includes new spells like Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron. Expansive play guide for new and returning players, which includes a term glossary, examples of play, game mechanics sidebars, character creation guide, and annotated character sheets. New artwork, streamlined organization, appendices, and an index. That's a lot.
So this means nothing to you and me, but for someone like Travis, this is a lot of new, interesting stuff to add into what he's doing with his campaigns, because he is the dungeon master. And also for players of D&D who are looking to, maybe try something new or add new abilities, feats, whatever, to spells to their character, and what you can and can't do in the game. So no, cool for D&D players.
Yeah, and when I guess eventually, and then hopefully once Travis becomes familiar with all of those things, maybe one day we can do another one.
That's not happening. It's been 2 years. I've given up.
Like a cool biannual hangout.
Plus, we'd have to get John back, and John doesn't do this anymore. No.
I know, he's out doing his own thing. I love when I see John's name randomly pop up on my Instagram or TikTok.
So he's not doing this. He retired at 37 and he golfs and plays video games all day.
Hey, I love that for him.
Yeah, no, I'm jealous as fuck. Because I got to go to work now.
I'm sorry. But with that, I think that's a great place to end today's Creatia Conversation. Thank y'all who joined us live and participated in the comments and read along with our silly rants. But you know where you can always catch us here every Thursday around this time. You can also catch us on all of our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at It's Creatia World, ITSCREATIA World. There's also Facebook, which we go live on, I think. Yes, we do. I saw a notification on StreamYard that said something about Facebook Live, and I was just like, I'll read it later. Sure, yeah, we're here too. And that's facebook.com/Creatia World. And as you know, House of the Dragon is back. So you know what that means. Dem Dragons is back. Which is our show to companion that we watch, that we do live every Sunday that House of the Dragon is on.
Thanks, JJ.
Thanks, JJ. So if you are watching at 9 p.m. Eastern, we are going live at 11 p.m. in your time. And then if you are where Matt lives, which means you're watching at 8, means we go live at 10 your time. Just trying to do math in the past. But yeah, so check us out. And we also have a group for that. That's facebook.com/group/demdragons. We like to put memes in there, especially now that the season is meme heavy. And it's a lot of shit that you got to process. So come have some laughs with us. But there's also facebook.com/group/smacking it raw, which is our companion group to Matt.
Smacking It Raw podcast, which you can find live every Saturday, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern, Twitch and YouTube, and Creatia World's X at It's Creatia World, ITSCREATA World on X. Yeah, go check it out. Come join us, talk wrestling.
It's a great time. It's a great time and a great place. And it's mentally healthy, mentally safe.
We try to make it that way.
Yeah. But I think that's it for now. Where can they find you at, Matt?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ridders, at MATTRIDDER, for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content. This week, Getting Off will go live directly after hashtag Them Dragons for Trick or Trivia 2. So come check out our horror trivia show directly after hashtag Them Dragons. Stick around for that. You guys can follow me everywhere else: Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Smacking It Raw.
And you can find me on all the same usual places, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Maradashark, MARADASHARK. This has been the Creatia Conversation, and we'll see you guys next semana.
Avada Kedavra.
Adios.